National leadership of the new Nigeria People's Party has described the purported suspension of the party's senator and 3 other House of Representative members as a ruse. The Kwankwasia group, led by Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, had announced the suspension of 4 senior party members, including Senator Kawu Sumailia, Ali Madakin Guinea, Sani Abdullahi Rogo, and Kabiru Al-Hassan Rumu, over allegations of anti-party activities. The Kano State chairman of the party, Hashimu Dangurawa, announced the suspension while addressing journalists on Monday. According to Dangurawa, these National Assembly members were elected under the NNPP platform but have recently engaged in actions that contradict the party's principles, values, and objectives. Reacting, the NNPP National Secretary Ogini Olakbosi, in a statement made available to our correspondents on Wednesday, insisted that the Dangarawa belongs to the Kwankwasia group, stressing that the group lacks the constitutional power to take such action. Ogini maintained that the senator and House of Representative members who were alleged to have been suspended by the Kwankwasia group were full-fledged and bona fide elected members of the NNPP. He urged the leadership of the National Assembly to note that the party had passed a vote of confidence on all its elected National Assembly members. According to him, Kwankwaso, who led the Kwankwasia movement, has been expelled from the party and therefore lacks the locus to act or speak on behalf of the party. The party secretary explained that the memorandum of understanding between the NNPP and the Kwankwasia movement was terminated after the 2023 general elections, adding that the Abia State High Court has also terminated the agreement on November 1st, 2024. He further stated that the court had compelled the Independent National Electoral Commission to hand over the administration and leadership of the NNPP to Dr. Anibonam Boniface Okechukwu, the chairman, board of trustees, and founder of the party. The NNPP leadership's dismissal of the Kwankwasia group's suspension of the senator and National Assembly members is the latest development in the ongoing crisis within the party. The crisis has been brewing for months, with Kwankwasia group and the NNPP leadership locked in a bitter struggle for control of the party. What are your thoughts on these reports?
Well, it's another political struggle. We have one ongoing in PDP, and the NNPP that controls Kano State is also in another round of crisis. You saw how organized and how united the APC we saw during the NEC meeting. But in PDP, they have their own crisis. In NNPP, they have their own crisis. In Labour Party, it's the same thing. It's only ABGA that we have not seen any form of disagreement. I'm talking about political parties that control states.
Right.
Labour Party is in a mesh in political crisis. The PDP is the same thing. The NNPP. But the ruling APC is one
but APC still has some aggrieved members.
When I say crisis, you can have people who are aggrieved, but that does not imply that there is crisis in the party.
Right.
Somebody can be aggrieved for the way, not okay with the way things are going in the party, but that does not amount to crisis.
Right.
Now there is a leadership control of the NNPP. The Kwankwaso group want to control the group, while the National also want to control the NNPP. But the relevance we have in NNPP today, if we must tell ourselves the truth, NNPP won election in Kano State is because of Kwankwaso's influence. And now they want to push him out of the party. That's politics. Politicians can do anything. In PDP is another crisis. So many persons have even accused the ruling APC of playing of responsible for the crisis in these political parties. But they also need to learn. Now we said Tinubu, the APC has adopted Tinubu for another term, or has passed a vote of confidence on him for a second time. Now, the opposition may not be comfortable with that. But how is their party? Which the one who is not comfortable, who want to unseat the president in the next election, it cannot even do not have peace in his own home. So how is it possible for you to win election when you have crisis in your home? You know what political crisis, where it leads to? Now that there is crisis in NNPP, before you know, the constitution said the only reason you have to defect is when there is crisis in your party. Before you know, the senators in APC, the Kano State chapter have suspended them, that they are doing anti-party. Before you know, at the National Assembly, somebody may say, oh, I'm leaving NNPP for APC. And you're depleting your number. And you want to unseat the ruling president. It's not possible. The PDP is the same problem. You saw lots of court orders flying here and there. You put your house in order. How do you want to unseat a united APC with the level of crisis we have seen in those political parties? It does not make sense. While I want the president to be re-elected, but I do not want it to look like people should, if it's the will of Nigeria not to have him for a second time, so be it. But the same people who want to unseat the president, they are immersed with political crisis over who control what. So it's all about control. It's not about the ordinary Nigerian. Because if you cannot keep your house in order, if you are fighting to control the party structure, what it means is that at the national level, you're also fighting to control the resources. This has nothing to do with the welfare of Nigerians. The P2B, whom so many Nigerians saw as Messiah, cannot even, there is crisis in his own party. He can't even control his party. So it's also about who controls party structure. Now, the same person want to control, rule the country. How? It's not possible. So people should learn to put their house in order.
But the Kwankwaso, you know, this is I think one of the major problems or the major situations I find in this report is they are fractionized.
So what does the faction want to do? They want to control the party.
Now, the Kwankwaso's faction has actually been, you know, rejected or dropped down by the judgment they said they got on November 1st. But they are the ones now suspending the senators and the House of Assembly, and the party is saying that does not stand. And you rightly said that, you know, Kwankwaso was the one that single-handedly helped in them winning that election.
It's not two things. One, I said Kwankwaso is his influence that made NNPP to win in Kano State. There is no doubt about that.
Right.
Now, this is politics. What they are playing is politics. Politics is about who controls what. Now, the other group want to push Kwankwaso out of the party. I don't want to go into whether they are right or not, because in politics, some of the things we see are not the true things. They are not true reflection of what is happening.
Okay.
The politicians want you to see what they want you to see. So there are a whole lot that play underground that are not in the media. Now, the other angle is political crises do not end. Court has never solved political crisis, especially when it has to do with party. Court has never solved political crisis. You see, you give ruling today, another person will file another matter in the same subject matter, and it will go on and on and on and on until people decide to say, okay, we are done with this party, we are leaving. Take example of the Anyanwu and Okoye's matter. Has it ended? The Court of Appeal in Enugu gave judgment. Has it ended? Has Okoye been installed as the PDP secretary? No. The court has not been able to, so that the court gave ruling, it will not in any way bring a solution to the crisis in the party. This is political crisis, is matter upon matter. Politicians and lawyers will always file one matter to continue to find a way to cause crisis and have their way in the party. So at the end of the day, it's either one person will say, okay, I'm no longer comfortable in this party, I'm leaving, and the person will defect, and then maybe that will be the end of the crisis in that party. So, but for court cases getting involved, courts getting involved in the party issue, it has never.
So why then do you think the court is brought in at all?
Because severally the Supreme Court has said that political party crises are family matter. The court do not have jurisdiction to settle political party matter. So that's why, because it's a family matter, politicians filed series of repeated suits. See what is happening in River State. The control of PDP in the state. The Ewo said he's the chairman of the party. Chukwuemeka said he's the chairman of the party. Very soon, we'll have parallel secretariat, and there will be lots of litigation. It will not proffer any solution. It has always been like that. In APC, it's the same thing. Emeka Beke is leading a faction, whether he's recognized or not. He's leading a faction. Tony Okocha is also leading a faction of the party. So, what is happening in NNPP is expected. But my point is, you are in opposition, and you want to win election. You need to sacrifice a lot. You need to allow certain things to fly, to enable you build a strong force to enable you defeat the government that is in power. Winning an incumbent president is not an easy thing. It has only happened once in this country. Nobody knows whether it's going to happen again.
Right.
So as an opposition, you need to prepare yourself. You need to put your house in order. The NNPP is in crisis, like I said earlier. The PDP is in another crisis. The Labour Party is in another crisis. So how do they expect, which force, when are they going to resolve the internal wrangling in their parties to now build a strong force that will unseat the Ahmed Bola Tinubu-led APC? It's not going to be. It's not going to be easy. I don't want to say it's not going to be possible. It's not going to be easy.
Thank you so much for your insight on that.